What's up, everybody? We are Ryan, Corey, Jamie, Logan, and Hamp, and you are listening to the Much About Nothing podcast where we talk ball, sports, and anything and everything else. Today, we are covering the NFC and AFC Championship games. We are going into what is about to be the Super Bowl weekend. If you got something to say, put it into the comments. If you are new to the pod, welcome to the Man Cave. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications. If you're already part of the fam, welcome back. Please like, share, and comment, and hit that bell. Corey, let's get into it.
Yes. It's been an interesting day, an interesting moment. Hamp certainly has a reason to celebrate because he feel a feeling that most of us have not felt in our lifetimes. His team is in the Super Bowl. Congratulations, my man. I do not hate on you. I'm happy for you. One day I hope to feel the same thing that you're feeling right now. So you let me know because I have never experienced it. Take this moment to shine, brother. Let me give you a hand clap, matter of fact.
Hey, man, listen, man. All praise to God, man. We did God's work today. Uh, what, you laughing at me? Something? Come on, man. Listen, man. We this season through since week 2, we had looked like the most dominant team in the NFL, and
Are you need the
people
Wi-Fi?
forget. People forgot how dominant we were when Jalen Hurts got hurt, and he's back now, and we back to looking dominant, and we're in the Super Bowl where we belong. San Francisco, safe travels back to LA, back to Cali. Uh, you guys fought good. Like I said, it was fun. It was real. It just wasn't real fun. I'm not really gonna boast and brag like you guys expected. I expected us to be here, so I ain't got a lot to say, man. That's it, Corey.
All right. So let's start this thing up with we're gonna start it off right. Just right. There you go.
How did the Eagles get here? So we're gonna start off with Sumlin because he's one of the Eagles supporters. Uh, he I sent him an application for him to join the bandwagon. I'm still waiting for the
Yeah,
application back. But yeah, man, how did the Eagles get here?
bro. I will wear a MAGA hat before I support the Eagles. All right, just want to make that clear. Uh,
Shout out to
but no,
Maga.
man. Hey, listen. Wow. Hey, listen. I'm gonna give you your credit. All right. I will agree with you. I think for the beginning of the season, Philly has looked like the most complete team. They've proved again today that top to bottom they have one of the most talented rosters in the NFL.
Mhm.
I think that your ownership proved that they are willing to do what it takes to win a Super Bowl. I mean, I think that starts with AJ Brown.
Mm.
Also, the signing of Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph and Bradbury and the rest of them guys, they went all in. Um, I mean, they clearly outmatched San Francisco today. You know, I don't necessarily think that Brock Purdy playing a full game would have changed the outcome of it. But you know, it's bittersweet. You know, I would much rather none of my friends celebrate a Super Bowl because you know, like Corey said, I haven't. It's been 27 years for Dallas, man. I have nothing else to talk about with them. You know, so
Mm.
congratulations to you all. Um, fly pigeons fly.
Sure, that's what you got, man. Jamie, what you got, man? Tell me, how did the Eagles get here?
You should thank John Robinson first of all. Um, he's probably made one of the biggest, dumbest decisions ever in Titan history by trading away your number one receiver for pennies, basically for pennies. And today was an example of how the 49ers lack quarterback depth. You know what I mean? So I mean, I don't have nothing to say about this. I'm just upset. I'm
Mm.
really upset, bro. I'm upset, bro. None of my predictions went down the way they supposed to went down today. So I'm upset about that, man. But good luck to y'all. I know y'all got a VA boy up there, so I'll root for y'all for that. Because I'm not with the Chiefs. I'm sorry, I can't do
Okay, hate. What you got?
it. Right, right. Right.
What you
But
got, Logan? What you
Hey,
got?
what I got is the Philadelphia. They did whatever they wanted to do with San Francisco. They kicked in the door, made a sandwich. Like it was nothing that 49ers, and they just let the depth was an issue. When you come to it and a journeyman who's been on 16 different teams, it was a it was a recipe for disaster, and it was. And another thing about Purdy, um, he could come back in the game as soon as Johnson got hurt. Showed me he does not have, because if that was the case, he would have been playing the entire time. He would have came out for back in there, but as soon as John Johnson, he wasn't in the tent, he wasn't in the locker room, and then that hurt. He just came in the game like it wasn't nothing, and they just ran the ball the rest of the time. They laid down. For the Eagles, good win for the Eagles. They imposed their will on the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
What you got?
Hey, Corey, what you get? What you got, Corey?
I'm gonna say it like this. I mean, I believe the main reason why the Eagles are here is a man by the name of Howie Roseman. Howie is a great GM. I sit back and I see my team and I see the teams around this league. What this man did at the time after they won the Super Bowl, first thing he did was identify that his team no longer was built to win a Super Bowl. The way they had Carson Wentz with a high cap number, his team was not there. So, what most people would have stuck with Carson Wentz, with what he had done for them, he said, "No, I'm going to move on." He also moved on from Dougie P. He reset that organization at the right time. Not only that, but he trusted in Jalen Hurts. And let's not even forget, the man even had a plan set up in case that didn't go through. That's having a plan B in case Jalen Hurts didn't even work out. He still had the potential to slide up because the Eagles, if I'm not mistaken, have 2 first-round picks in this draft. So the rich get richer. Not only that, to go out to get AJ and secure you a nice stud wide receiver. Like at everything, every move he done made along the way, he has proven that this can be done. This is the way that you want your organization ran. Like this. I need to have me a Howie Roseman.
Yeah.
That's the truth. I have to give a hand clap and a shout of applause to Howie Roseman because this guy understands how to build a football team. Number one, the first thing I'm telling you right now, no team has won a Super Bowl with a quarterback that made 13% of the cap. That's $27 million. $27 million is the most money that somebody has paid a quarterback and won a Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts is now there, and you built a team around him that can win. That can win. I fully expect the Eagles to go in here and take care of business. I mean, them getting past the 49ers, that will leave some time to get into why the 49ers fail. I do disagree. I think with you something, I do think it would have been a more competitive game. I did have 49ers winning, but like I said, there was very, very close. I would have picked 49ers to win the game, but I won't surprise. Even the Brock Purdy was healthy if the Eagles would have won. I think they were a great, evenly matched team. But after Purdy went down, nah. That's like if Hurts went down, nah, it's no shot. If Hurts went down, I would have 49ers win that game.
Well, based off what you guys say, I'm gonna lean closer to what Corey said. The reason why the Eagles are here is because they are an organization who have a championship mentality, not a put fans in the stadium mentality, not a be the biggest stars mentality, not a bunch of drama mentality, and that's very difficult to do in the salary cap era. You're right. Jalen Hurts being on a cost-effective salary, but you got to hit on those quarterbacks. I'm gonna tell you something. And not to really get on you real bad, something, but let's stop and think about the Cowboys and how they've looked into their quarterbacks.
And we talking about the Eagles.
Here you go.
Stay there.
We're doing a case study.
Stay there. No, we're not. We talking about the Eagles. Stay there.
So I want you to think about this. They looked into Tony Romo.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't spend any draft capital on Tony Romo. Am I correct?
No question.
They looked into Dak Prescott. So that was 8 years, and this is 7 years. That's 15 years of not putting any draft capital at the quarterback position.
Mm-hmm.
15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at it, there's a way to win, and all you have to do is look at the people that win. And the crazy part about it is, if you look at the guys that they got sniped that they were going to get, y'all were going to get Paxton Lynch, the Arkansas great. Y'all remember that?
Terrible.
But y'all got sniped. Y'all got saved. Y'all were trying to get Johnny Manziel. Y'all remember that? And then y'all got sniped for him too. Like, so there's an evaluation process. So that tells me that even there, from the organization as a whole, the scouting department, Howie Roseman with how he's structuring these contracts, how they're developing young talent. I mean, this is a championship organization. I'm just proud to wear the uniform today, man. I'm proud.
I'm happy for you, but we're gonna cut this mess. All right, championship organization, bro. Y'all got one Super Bowl. All right, one. This is your 4th appearance. Ain't nothing championship about the organization. So cut the crap. All right. First thing, remember what Brandon Beane just said a couple weeks ago about Jamar Chase. In order for you to get a good quarterback, you have to be trash. You have to be able to draft high, right? Would you agree with that?
Hold on.
In order to get
Jalen Hurts at?
Second round.
He was in the second round, but nobody. Hold on, time out. Can I finish?
Everybody pass.
No, let me finish, because you didn't believe in Hurts at first, right? Okay. So again, let's go back. If you want to have a stud quarterback, as you're saying Dallas should have invested in, you have to be trash. The problem that I've had with Dallas is they stay in the middle of the pack, where there is no quarterback when they finally get the draft, right? So that's how that starts. But again, kudos to y'all, man. I'm excited for y'all. You know, I know Philly, they burning the city down. For some reason, it makes sense to burn the city down, and they won there. Don't understand that. But, you know, I mean, hey, they're doing a good job. I agree with you. I think right now, Philly has a 3-year window. They have to execute in this next 3 years because they have a lot of guys that are going to want to be paid. Hassan Reddick better be number 1 on the list. He better be number 1 on the list.
I'm sure he's up there. I'm sure he's up there. Now, let's talk about this specific game, though. We're not talking about the games that preceded this in which we dominated. We're talking about this last domination of the San Francisco 49ers. Now, in this room, I couldn't get a cosign. You know what that feels like? Can't get a cosign. I couldn't get one of you guys to see that the Eagles were the best team here. So let's talk about this game. Jamie, what do you notice about this game that was significant? What happened between the lines?
Turnovers and bad quarterback play. That's what happened with the 49ers. But I mean, their defense was stout for a little bit until it just got too much for them being on the field a lot, man. Like when your offense can't generate nothing and your defense out there, what can you do? You're just gonna get you start running the rock, holes open up. So I mean, they didn't get over 150 yards rushing like I predicted because that's the number 1 defense. They pretty much held their own, but once the offense can't get no production, then it's hard to move the ball, man. It's hard to move the ball like that. So turnovers killed the 49ers, but the Eagles did play good defense on their own right. I'm not gonna take that away from them. They did get in the backfield a lot. I thought the 49ers offensive line was pretty all right before now, but then today, Reddick killed them, man.
Yeah.
He killed them.
That was assault. That boy should be arrested. That boy should be arrested.
So let's look at these numbers here because we want to talk about bad quarterback play. All right, so combined, they were 11 for 17. 11 for 17. For a little under 100 yards. Okay? That's pretty bad. But on the other side of it, as I look at it. Hurts was just 15 for 25 for 121 yards. So we talking about 21 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't the difference. The difference came into, in my opinion, what we talked about last week about running the ball. And when you run the ball, the best defense is by not allowing the other team to get on offense, and by controlling the clock. And so I'm looking at it, and we had 14 carries by Kenny Gainwell, 11 carries by Miles Sanders, 11 carries by Jalen Hurts, 6 carries by Boston Scott. That's the recipe for winning. We've talked about it this entire podcast. We always talking about balance and control. Like, that's what we talk about. And the 49ers did it.
You're really going to go with that? You're really going to go with that?
Yeah, I'm going to go with that.
Nah, you can't, because turnovers help you. You got good field position on most of them touchdowns. You can't go with that.
Thank you, Jay.
30 yards, that's a touchdown.
No, we're not about to do this. We're not about to do this. No,
come on, man.
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna give you that one. Nope.
Yeah.
I knew that was a bad idea.
Okay. So
let's that.
Bad quarterback, man.
Okay, so let's talk about this. All right. So at the trade deadline, two teams. This is a tale of two cities here. This is like Romeo and Juliet. This is a tale of two cities here. So the Eagles decided to get stout on the defense.
Yep.
They went and got a running back. They already had a running back. They went and got another running back. And how many carries did Christian McCaffrey have this game?
15.
Most important game was it?
15 carries. Yeah. I mean, he was injured. Let's remember he had the calf.
What about Mitchell?
None. I don't think Mitchell touched.
I don't think we saw him in the game today.
He didn't get.
So we're gonna discredit that though, Jamie. We're gonna discredit that. That don't mean nothing.
I don't know. You probably.
Bro, they would put when their quarterback got hurt and then the other quarterback got hurt, they got put in the box, man. They got put in the box. All they could do was run the ball.
That's it.
Hey, you only get 3 and out. That's 3 carries. Yeah. You can't sustain the drive. You only getting 3 carries a drive. You got to sustain the drive to keep carries. But for the amount of carries they had, they moved for yards. He had 15 carries for 80-some yards. They were moving the ball, running the ball, but they couldn't sustain drives because they couldn't pass. If you can't pass the ball, can't move the ball, you keep getting turnovers. They lost that game the minute Brock Purdy, I don't know, they lost the game the minute the backup quarterback was that guy Johnson. What are you doing? Like, why was he there? Why is this guy in the NFL?
Come on, man. Hey, I don't think
I'm not blaming this man, but this man was clearly like not supposed to be in the league, bro.
Hey, man,
bro, he been the 49ers 4 times. He been the 49ers 4 times.
4 times, bro.
We're gonna do Josh like that. We're gonna do Josh like that.
We can't do Josh like that. We're not gonna do him like that. We gotta be.
But why is he there?
Listen, the man obviously, and Kyle Shanahan, that man is worth being there. That he got some kind of relationship with that dude. Listen, what I equate Josh Johnson going in the game to is me going to work on a skyscraper without any kind of harness my first day on the job, and I ain't never had no trouble. Bro, Philadelphia saw fresh blood and went crazy. Let's call it what it is. That defense said there is no way this dude that should be working in the enterprise management trainee program is going to throw for 50 yards against us. No way. Bro, he didn't stand a chance. That was by far the hardest game that you would ever want. Your off the street guy. He been there for what, 3 weeks? Didn't they just bring him in 3 or 4 weeks ago?
I don't know, bro.
Come on, man.
He been on every team in the league almost. He did Nate Robinson of the
what
NFL.
Game did Jimmy G get hurt in?
That was like week 7.
So you know you don't got Trey Lance. You know he out. You know Jimmy G is out. Why you don't have a more stable backup?
Who's out there?
They did. Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I mean, who's out there?
You know Jimmy G's out and Trey Lance out. You have to go secure a backup.
Who?
Yeah, trade. Make a
You
trade.
can't. It was after the
the
trade
deadline.
deadline. You can't pick nobody. You can pick somebody up off the street. What you think they would go sign Kaepernick?
You say he got hurt week 7 though, right?
Yeah, but they didn't need him at the time. They had Brock Purdy. They were comfortable with that. They didn't know how long Jimmy G was going to be out at first, so they
Yeah.
didn't want to waste the roster spot on signing another quarterback at the
Isn't
time.
it, man? It was
We
over.
didn't
But
get we didn't give the Eagles their props. We
yeah,
okay.
we
We
right.
gave their
Everybody
props.
asking for the props. We telling you they dominated, man.
Okay, but
He
listen.
want y'all to say it was nothing that the 49ers could do.
There was nothing they could do.
Game regardless. I'm saying
There was
Purdy
nothing they could do.
He want to hear it don't matter if Purdy was hurt. They still
If Purdy was healthy, they still would have dogged them.
Huh?
It would
They
have been the
still
same
would have
thing.
dogged them with Purdy, bro. Healthy.
Nah, it was 31-7.
Yeah, they would still beat the brakes off them if Purdy would have played the entire game.
I disagree.
It was just written. It was just written in the stars that day. That team looked like a championship team.
Man, and listen, man, we talked about this. We talked about this last week, right? And again, you guys did not take credit for the disadvantage you have when you're coming from San Francisco and you have to fly across the nation. You have to fly across the nation on a short week and be able to play, and then you have to play in the city of Philadelphia. That rookie was not going to be prepared for that, man. He was not going to be ready for that. And at one point, we talked on the phone, Corey, and I told you, I said, it don't even look like Hassan Reddick is even in a football stance. This guy was in a track stance. Like he was running at the backfield.
No threat of a pass 10 years back.
Yeah, he wasn't even in a football stance. Like he was ready to win a race. So yeah, nothing would have changed. Nothing would have changed. I mean, we can sit here and I can brag about this all over again, but I would like to move on and talk about the only real game that happened today. There was only one game. What you got?
We still got to go on.
You got to talk about the Niners,
What
right?
did they do about it?
Oh, let's talk about it now. I'm sorry. I don't even want to disrespect that. Is anybody in the chats? Because I really
we can use this time.
bunch of Eagles fans.
a bunch of Eagles fan.
We need to keep on moving.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh man, we had a lot of comments in here. Oh, bang bang Niner gang. Ain't that something? How about this? How about bye bye Niner guy? Let's go with that. You liking that something? You with that something?
No.
Bye bye Niner
No.
guy? No. Okay.
At this point, football season's over. I'm watching basketball now. My wife made me take my jerseys out of the trash can because I was done.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
I was done. I paid too much for that Zeke Joe, so I'm gonna keep it for a while. But
Yeah, well, he probably won't even be there, so you might as well get rid of it.
We're taking a salary cut. He should be under $100,000 salary by the time we're done.
Yeah, okay. Y'all cap just look just bad as ours.
It's looking
Okay.
real bad.
All right, so with the comments, I said 2 weeks ago Brock Purdy was not the answer. I do remember that. Y'all argued about how he was the man. I think now if the Cowboys won last week, we would have lost today against the Eagles.
No question.
I can respect that. I can respect that.
No.
Oh, Mike Murphy in the building. Can we get some claps, man? I've been trying to get this guy over here for months, and we ain't been going but for 3 weeks. 49ers need the all-Madden team's quarterback depth, didn't they? They were on their fourth guy. How much more depth could they have? Very good point.
That's actually a really good point, and it's a great segue into talking about Brock Purdy. Dog, if you really think about this San Francisco team, they have had question marks at quarterback every year for the last 3 to 4 years, and they are always deep in the playoffs every year.
Yeah.
Every year.
I agree.
I mean,
and they knocking people out.
Man, I mean, it's kind of what I'm not going to say it's a system thing, but it does seem like every quarterback that gets in there other than Josh Johnson has been able to run that system.
This dude like gave me a heart attack today, bro. Like with the delay of game call.
The delay of games was crucial, bro.
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
the grown man take the ball out his hands.
Hey, that man was fighting for his life out there. He was fighting for his life out there. I'm not gonna sit here and disrespect,
bro. You
Josh
cannot
like this.
You cannot block Hassan Reddick with a tight end by himself.
No, you
that's
can't.
their first problem, and then they let him run loose on a couple plays by himself.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, but again, to answer your question, what you said about Josh Johnson has been on 15 different teams, I believe. Like the guy, This guy is learning a different playbook all
Learn.
the time.
Learn it.
So-
He should know all the playbooks. He been on 15 different teams.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro,
I
he
mean,
been
that's-
he been the NFL, the USFL, and the XFL.
He
Bro,
been part of
he
three leagues
probably
that
been the
shut down.
Canadian League too, bro. Like,
Mhm.
come on, bro. Like,
Hey,
he
so
know every
that's my
playbook.
point. That's my point. So when you said they should have got somebody else, Shanahan said, "I'm gonna pick somebody who can learn this playbook fast in case I gotta use him."
He already got it. He just brought his old playbook with him. He already got it. Like, hey, bring that playbook back that you had.
He had the wrong playbook, didn't he?
Yeah, man.
Hey, before we get to, I mean, because we in the 49ers, I can say this without a shadow of a doubt. If he decides to play next year, it'll be on the 16th team because it ain't gonna be in San Francisco. it ain't gonna be on San Francisco.
We'll sign him. Watch
I bet y'all
Dallas sign
will.
him
I
as
bet
a
y'all
backup.
will.
Yeah.
I bet
We'll
y'all
sign
will.
him.
Quincy Carter all over again.
Yep. Yep.
Oh man. So okay, let's get the next comment up here, man. Let's get through these comments before we get into these 49ers.
All right. I got you.
Oh, shout out, we got Crystal in here. What's up, Crystal? Can we get a clap for Crystal? She is one of our faithful in here, faithful fan.
Oh, look at Craig. Craig in this joint.
Oh, okay. Welcome.
Craig looks like Eli Apple get beat all the time. I tell you, boy, I swear.
Hey, nah, Craig used to strap stuff up though where he wanted to. He just wasn't serious enough.
Hey, Craig had a chopstick and hit the joint like that.
Yeah, so so what Mike said, like, yeah, it's amazing. You know, all jokes aside, man. San Francisco, they had an awesome season this year, and not everybody can't go to the Super Bowl. Only one team from the NFC gets to go. And San Francisco, I know it's heartbreaking because if I was a fan, I'd be heartbroken right now. They got there with their third string guy. But one person that I know that is relieved by all of this is Trey Lance. Because, man, this was about to be messy coming in the offseason. This was about to be a mess.
He gonna get traded.
Did y'all see Jimmy G smiling on the sideline?
Yeah.
And when it was 28-7, you saw it, right? He wasn't mad enough.
Bro, he was thinking about which porn star he was gonna go after.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh, also, hey, LT brought up a good point, man. AD did call it. He picked Philly to win by 21.
Sound like AD Eagles fan for real. Because I swore he was one of us. Now he need to decide, which way he going. It don't sound like he really a Cowboys fan.
Hey, put Stokes' question up here.
Yeah,
said,
I was about to do that.
Would Jalen Hurts win the MVP? Man,
No, this game.
No.
Man.
No, not what after Patrick Mahomes did, man. Come on, man. Oh my gosh. The boy threw 5,000 yards and change.
That's a bad boy.
And 40-something touchdowns.
That's a bad man.
Hey, he said for not caring about the Cowboys, we sure talk about them a lot. You got it right. He got to be right, man. I'm gonna stop talking about you guys.
AD say he a KC fan.
Oh wow.
Man, hey, the game was. Oh, also, this is something that again, I hate. Anybody knows me knows that I don't use the officiating excuse ever. But Matt's comment up here. He said the game was officiated. The game was bad officiating and backup quarterbacks. Smith didn't make that catch in the first. Niners became one-dimensional. Easy to play defense against that. All right, so let's break down the officiating. Jamie, you play high-level football. Can you allow the officials to dictate who wins the game?
No,
you gotta flat out beat that team.
You can't, but they put themselves in the game when they start calling stuff that's not real.
Okay, well, let's talk about that catch that wasn't a catch.
Don't matter.
Was it a catch, Hamp?
It was not a catch.
It don't matter. They heard it up.
Exactly. That's what a challenge flag is for.
Yeah.
I mean,
at the end of the day, they didn't allow them to challenge the play. They heard it up. They knew he didn't catch it. He could have threw the challenge play out. I mean,
that's what they're for.
You seen when he went like this, he letting you know, I didn't catch that. Let's hurry up and get to the line. And then they caught him off guard, bro. He knew that all of that is good team game. I can't be mad at that.
I would understand this comment a little bit more if it was 21-24, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you can officiate bad enough to cause a 24-point swing. I don't think that's yeah.
Hey, appreciate you, Var. Hey, clap for Var, man. Glad to see you in the building, man. Big claps.
So, what was the question about Brock Purdy?
The question about Brock
Yeah,
Purdy.
I'm going for it now,
I mean,
man.
well, finishing up what he said about the game becoming one-dimensional. What they do with Purdy? Oh man, that's a good question.
He's a
think
backup.
I think they're gonna go with him
Yeah,
going forward.
he deserves it.
You think he deserves it?
I think he earned it. I earned if let me put it like this: if Dak earned him a roster spot, starting quarterback spot after he took over, right? Purdy has done far much more than Dak did his first year.
TJ,
No, he did
shout
not.
out
Not his
You don't
first year.
think so? He won a playoff game.
Dak won rookie of the year.
Yeah, but he all right.
Yeah,
all right.
Dak won rookie of the year his first year. He was 13-3. Yeah.
Purdy might win. I mean, he might win. Purdy might win.
I believe.
I think Trey Lance has to start. Oh my bad. Go ahead, bro.
Oh no, go ahead. What you got, bro?
I think San Francisco has to go with Trey Lance next year, and only for one reason. They have to establish a value for him. Because right now, if they go with Brock Purdy, they have a first-round quarterback that's going to sit on the bench making a bunch of money that nobody knows whether he's still able to play or not. Even if they don't plan on keeping him long-term, you have to put your first-round quarterback out there to at least establish some kind of trade value.
Okay. Before I get to my answer, man, I did not know that TJ was in the building. Shout out to TJ. Hey, let's give it to him, man. Hey, don't leave. We love you, TJ. That's my little bro there. All right, but listen. In my opinion, what I think you do with it, I think you have to have a camp battle. I think that. I mean, a lot of people say Trey Lance has the draft capital. That draft capital don't mean nothing right now.
Thank you.
Like that's sunken costs. Like it's sunken costs. They both are under rookie deals. In actuality, Purdy has more time on his rookie deal.
Yeah.
So I think that it would have became more complicated if Purdy had won this game. If Purdy had won this game, I think Trey Lance is out of here. I think you try to recoup whatever you can get for him and get another backup and be done with this thing. But this made it more complicated with how bad they got beat and what's going to be perceived by a lot of 49ers fans as a guy who had no heart. Because we don't know how hurt we don't know how hurt he was, but I can say the fan base is probably tomorrow, after looking at his body language and realize that he looked like he was not full of spirit with the way the game was going. He was not enthused to get back out there. He didn't want no part of that. And when he saw Johnson getting what he was getting, he wasn't volunteering to go back out there. He made a business decision, in my opinion.
That boy was hiding like the coach on the water boy.
So I mean, you know what? And Todd says that Purdy will be a great backup for him. Here goes man, it's hard to say because the problem with Purdy being a backup for Trey Lance is as soon as Trey Lance has a bad game, he has to look over his shoulder. And so I think the loser of that battle probably should find a new home. Because it's not going to be good. If you got two quarterbacks, you got no quarterbacks in the NFL. You gotta have one guy.
You still got a problem too, man. Because you still got Jimmy G on the roster too, and he just signed an extension. Yeah, somebody has got to go.
Yeah, Jimmy already know he out of there.
Yeah,
I would say if they signed him to an extension in the offseason, so he's not out of there yet.
Yeah. He gonna be there. So now you got it. So now you got to trade Jimmy G, right? In order to get rid of him. You got to trade Trey Lance, or you got to trade two of those guys. And the problem with trading both of those guys is nobody knows if they're going to be healthy unless you put them in the game. Them workouts don't mean nothing. You're gonna have to see them play.
Yeah, I mean that's what's so exciting about. I'm excited about this pod when we can get into each individual teams because there's going to be a quarterback carousel, and we can speculate this time of year. It's so much going on to what's going to happen, but usually in the NFL, there's more need for quarterbacks than there are quarterbacks available. Yeah. This year, there's a lot of guys available, and There's a lot. It's going to be a lot of new coaching. It's going to be a lot of new offensive coordinators, and then we're going to be trying to mix and match these pieces to see how it works. But I don't think I can give Purdy that job straight out though. I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
I mean, me personally, I would do it. We just talked about a competent organization. What competence take is to realize where you're at. You have Brock Purdy, like you said, he has less years on his contract at a lower cap number too. Because he is a top 3 pick. His cap numbers, Trey Lance cap numbers would be way higher than Brock Purdy. And when when Trey Lance
because you sound like a Vikings fan right now with this take, by the way. Yeah.
With Trey Lance playing, Trey Lance looked like a bum. I mean, we don't know yet. He could be the next coming of Joe Montana. We don't know. But I would take Brock Purdy, and I would get what I can for Trey Lance. Because at the end of the day, if I see what he got and he ain't got it, I lose that value.
What can you get from him? What value do you have from him now?
Trey Lance can still garner a first round pick right now.
Yeah, but
right now on the open market, he still can garner a
with that broke ankle.
Yes, absolutely.
What team gonna trade a first round pick for him? Give me one team.
I already know where he's going. If he going,
give me one team that'll give a first round pick for Trey Lance.
The Tennessee Titans would give it to him.
Yeah, easily.
I would too.
Atlanta would give it to him.
Yeah.
You want to know what's amazing about all 3 of those organizations we just named? None of them been to a Super Bowl recently. So
we just 49ers
including us. I mean, I'm just saying that's a terrible idea, bro.
All right, just let it be known that your team ain't been there
27 years. I
know. Yeah.
So put Stokes' comment up here because I think we need to get into that. It's a very important. It's a very good question. Why would a backup need to find a new home? Why wouldn't you keep? Now I do agree that there's a value in having a backup quarterback, but I'm gonna tell you. But the problem with Purdy is he's shown that he's not a backup quarterback, and so if he does lose that job, then you can't put him on the bench. It's kind of like, I will say this: Carson Wentz looked like the MVP of the NFL until we had the issue with Nick Foles coming in there looking like a starter. And then we went back around and we brought in Jalen Hurts. And as soon as Carson had a bad game, we was calling for the backup. And the Philly fans was calling for the backup. He can't cut his TV on. He can't get on his social media. He can't go to the grocery store without somebody saying you need it. And it destroys the confidence of a quarterback. If you have more than one quarterback, you got 0 quarterbacks. So that's the reason why you can't have him as the backup, in my opinion. But yeah, Purdy going for the cheap, and I don't think you can get much. You know what? I don't know what you can get for Purdy in the trade market, but I know that what you can get for Trey Lance, you're gonna get a first round pick for Trey Lance.
Put that comment up there, Corey, that Stokes just said.
Yeah, I know.
I completely agree with Stokes. Completely agree.
We can do a measurement later on to find out what a pick of his value has went for. We'll try to find a comparable matchup.
I completely agree with this comment.
I believe there's a lot of organizations out there that get first for Trey Lance right now.
Aaron Rodgers going for a first right now, by the way. So if we gonna say that Trey Lance is just as good as Aaron Rodgers, but we just established we established
age too, bro.
20 minutes ago we said that most quarterbacks except for Josh Johnson could play well in that system, didn't we? So are we going to say that Brock's really that good, or is it the system that he played in that assisted him?
You're knowing the money of the situation, though, man.
Yeah, bro, the money is a piece, but it's not that big of a piece.
$50 million for Aaron Rodgers and $7 million for Trey Lance is a difference in $43 million. You know what?
I'm glad we're fans. I'm glad we're fans, because if y'all was GMs and you traded for a first round pick for a dude with an ankle that was touching the ground, you should be fired.
All right, that's
simple.
Okay, so hey, listen, I got a question for you, Corey, because Ty keep bringing it up. This is a good question. What would you trade for Brock Purdy?
Brock Purdy?
Yeah, Brock Purdy for the Vikings.
Nothing. I want to trade for him. I want to trade for him. I wouldn't
So you
trade
would
for him.
start him in San Francisco, but you wouldn't want him.
He gonna
Yeah.
duke it out with Kirk, man. He gonna duke it out
Yeah.
with Kirk.
No.
Hey,
I want to move past Kirk. But the reason why I wouldn't trade for him is the same. I know that Brock Purdy can play in Kyle Shanahan's system. I don't know if he come to Minnesota Vikings, what he going to do. And why would
yeah.
I do that? But I know I see him in that system and I like what I see. I can either continue to go with that or move past it. But if
Okay.
I would have, let's say if I was in the same situation and saw what I see, I would keep him. Now I wouldn't trade for him because that's taking on can he play in Kevin O'Connell's system, which he might not be able to. The Shanahan's and the Sean McVay system are two different systems. I don't know. And that's taking a question. Now you want to say Trey Lance. Trey Lance is still like I don't think he's been morphed into the system yet. We don't know. He ain't ran no system good yet. I would take that and see what he could do. I like his athleticism though. That's
See,
what I'm paying for.
this is my opinion. I think that when they traded down to that pick, I think who they really wanted was Mac Jones. I think Shanahan really wanted Mac Jones, but I think the backlash that he got, I mean, that he was trading down for Mac Jones and people were laughing at him. I think then on draft day, he went with Trey Lance. But I think he really wanted Mac Jones. And to me, Brock Purdy is Mac Jones. They're equivalent. I don't think that he's physical talent. I don't think he's an athlete. I don't know how smart he is. I mean, I don't know. I don't. It just seems like a good system that he's running. But Trey Lance, on the other hand, if Trey Lance is half as good mentally as Brock Purdy with the physical abilities he has, and that offense is going to be dynamic. So if I had to choose, I'm gonna try my best to force Trey Lance to work. That's me. I'm gonna try to force it to work.
No question.
I'm gonna try to force it to work.
Speaking of quarterbacks, though, did you see the quarterback duel tonight? The night game?
Sir.
Yeah, we got to get into that.
Patty P, boy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey,
Cheese.
that boy, man.
let's call these stats out.
They got away with one.
Joe Burrow, 26 for 41, 270, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He was sacked 5 times. What you take, Jamie?
That's gonna be their issue until they fix it. Because last year we sacked him 9 times. He got sacked 5 tonight, and Phil Simms said the same thing tonight. He was like, "This looked just like last year, but they ended up winning. But tonight it turned for the worse when he got sacked that last time, and they couldn't get it done. They couldn't get it done. So I mean, they're gonna have to address that issue in the offseason. That offensive line, man, it's been bad for 2 years straight.
Yeah, and
that man getting killed.
Yeah, and again, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up these rushing stats. Joe Burrow had 4 less attempts than Joe Mixon. Make it make sense to me, Jamie. Joe Burrow had 4 carries for 30 yards. Joe Mixon had 8 for 19.
That offensive line, man. See that Bills they don't blitz. The Bills don't blitz at all, so they can rush through them rushing lanes and get back to them linebackers. But Kansas City blitz. They blitz. That's Sperano. That's his MO. He blitz. You know what I mean? And the line ain't built for that. They had 3 starters down. So, hey, you can't block nobody. You're going to get hit.
Yeah, I mean, and then the last thing, because I want to spend some time on the Chiefs, T. Higgins not being a number 1 receiver. We still feel that way in this room?
Oh, no, he's definitely number 1.
I called him 1A and 1B, man. They 1A and 1B. Him and Jamal 1A and 1B.
He's definitely a 1. Definitely. Hey, but you know what I think is crazy? And maybe it's just me, but this Joe Burrow sack issue is really starting to remind me of Andrew Luck.
Yeah,
really
that's a good point.
Me of Andrew Luck. And if they don't figure this out, I don't care what the rest of that talent looks like. He is not gonna last long.
Yeah, it's gonna steal his joy. It's gonna steal his joy, man.
Absolutely.
Because I remember Andrew Luck talked about it. He was like, he loved the game of football, but he hated having to have surgery at the end of every season. He said he was being put back together every off season.
Wow.
So yeah, it's out of control. But let's get into it because we got a few minutes. Let's talk about the actual Chiefs. Pat Mahomes, 29-43, 326, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and he took 3 sacks. He different. Corey, what you
They
gotta say
got
about it?
bailed out, man. The refs bailed him out. I'm sorry to tell you that. They got bailed out a bunch of times.
Yeah, Todd called out the home cooking there. I mean,
Come
Man,
on, man.
you earned this.
That flag is not home cooking. That man was out of bounds. All right, look.
Yeah.
No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about way before that. Bro, they ran a whole play. We got to stop the clock. Bro, come on, bro.
I
Come on,
agree.
bro.
They couldn't hear. They said they couldn't hear the whistle.
It doesn't matter. You gave him a whole practice play. Like,
You were upset, and I'm just a fan.
yeah, my bad.
Hey,
I'm just a fan.
hey, you can be just
That
a
was
fan,
trash.
but if that happened to your team, you'd have been
That
hot.
was trash.
Hey, I'm
Yeah.
still upset about Dez from 2014. So I don't really have no sympathy for nobody when it comes to the playoffs. Honestly.
yeah.
I mean,
Hey, you right, man. Hey, listen,
But Patty P different, man. Hey,
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes, he's different. That man different. And there's nothing as a Chiefs, I know that feel good. I wonder what that's like, just to have a quarterback you be confident in.
oh man,
I never said I'd take a one-leg Pat Mahomes over anybody. No, I did not say that.
I did.
I did.
I said I
You
take
can't-
a one-legged Pat Mahomes. I still take a one-legged Pat Mahomes over Kirk Cousins. That's what I specifically said. I would take a one-legged, but cut his leg off and put a doggone stub on it. I would still take him over Kirk Cousins. Just staying in the pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
that's arm talent right there, bro. Arm.
I got a question for you, man. Is Hayden Hurst still a top 5 tight end, Corey?
Yeah, you gonna throw that on out there.
Who said he was
On that catch in the end zone, I'm like, man, come on, man. Hey, Hurst, if he would have caught that pass in the end zone,
We talking about a different game.
what are you talking about?
I said, yeah. If he called it, we talking about a different game here.
Okay, yeah. I would have came up here and said, told y'all, but now he dropped it. So I'm like, yeah, he still got work, man.
Oh, he's
And
still
I corrected it. I said he's not top 5. He's outside of the top 5. I put him at 6.
Is it? I mean, I feel like even he might be Corey. He might be
He's
at
right
5.
there with Schultz. I say he's
'Cause I
right
think
there at 5. We called it out when we named it. He could name 5 that I legitimately cannot say Hurst is ahead.
I'm not doing it
I
today,
I
brother.
forgot what he said.
No, you don't have to
who you
do
name
that.
him? He said, real quick.
Get
name
somebody
him
else to
again.
do it. We're not doing that in here. Get somebody else to do it.
No, I just think tight ends, to me, they
You can
rank
name
in
5,
tiers,
man.
man. Like tiers are tiered. I think
Yeah.
Mark Andrews, Travis Kelce at the top tier. Then you got a bunch of guys in
You
the
don't
second
think my
tier.
guy jumped up there? You don't
Who?
think my guy jumped up there?
Yeah, Hawkinson up there.
Oh yeah, he up there, but he at
Hawkinson
the top of that second tier. He ain't up there with Kelce.
You don't think he entered that tier this year?
No.
1,000 yards.
Hey,
Up there with him?
Hey, listen, man. We can go into that officiating. I'm gonna tell you, I personally, it was the right call, but I just don't like the call. I agree. with Corey.
I wouldn't have called it.
Man, the game should not have been won that way. Nobody wanted to see that game won like that. I would have rather seen it won in overtime than to have a penalty like that at the end. It got to be the worst feeling to be the guy called for that penalty. It got to be the worst.
It's a bonehead play though. It's a
Stupid
bonehead
play.
Yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
a stupid
Thank
play.
you, Corey. Yeah.
It's a stupid play, so I can't be mad at it because he did have both feet out of bounds. It won't like he was one leg in, one leg out. He had both feet out of bounds, and he extended his arms.
Yep.
It took effort to push him there, so he did. It's a rough in the pass, but I do not like the game coming down to that.
But do you
I
notice
wouldn't
the
have called.
Bengals? Do you notice the Bengals have stuff like that go on all the time?
Yeah,
All the time.
Vontaze Burfict hit Antonio Brown, knocked him out the playoffs against the Steelers
Yeah.
that year.
Yeah.
Same scenario.
Lack of
it
discipline.
might be coach. It
If
might be
people don't
coach.
want that call on Pat Mahomes, then you won't want the call with Hufanga on Jalen Hurts. It was literally the same play. When they threw the 15, it was literally the same play. They were clearly out of bounds, and they still extended the arms and pushed them. That's a flag.
Yeah.
I hate that. I know the old boy was trying to make a play, but you got to be. And then not to mention, they slid it to that bench hard too. Knocked the dude over that was over there and everything. I know that old man be icy. He's icy hot.
But the problem is, quarterbacks sometimes turn up field. In that moment, sometimes they turn up field and try to get 2 or 3 extra yards.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying they need to just go out of bounds.
I'm telling you, man, it's hard to downshift 260 pounds though.
Correct.
I would imagine it's hard. Like when you move
The
at that
arm
speed,
extension, though. He
I'm just
extended
saying,
his
man, because
arm to push.
I mean, like I said, I can't argue the call. I hate it. I hate that it went like that. But I'm gonna tell you, man, like it's you. Sometimes you can hurt yourself trying to avoid hitting somebody else in that situation.
Correct. Yeah.
Well, my thing is with the defense of the Bengals, bro. How do you let this man just run to the sticks and turn around? He's wide open every time. I've seen it done 3 weeks in a row. Travis Kelce just runs to the sticks and turns around, and he's wide open. Nobody's there. It's baffling to me, bro. It's baffling.
That delay route. Like it's like he go to block and he comes off on it and sneaks. It's the same stupid play.
Tonight he had free releases. Nobody touched him. And he just goes right there and turn around and stand there and just sit there and wait.
They did a better job. They did a better job in the second half, double teaming him. But first half, he was turning them up, man. I mean, the Chiefs just looked like if Pat Mahomes was healthy, would this game have been as close as it was?
Yeah, it would be this close.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good game.
If he was healthy,
yes, it would be the same game.
And VAR and Tawana have said the same thing. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I can see he was out of bounds. He was definitely out of bounds. I'm not arguing the fact that he was out of bounds. That's not. I just hate that. I hate the call was called
down to that. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear. But you said, what if he's healthy? That's a good question. I don't know, man. I just know this. Anytime I see Pat Mahomes playing, I feel like somebody has to beat him because I don't think that he's going to lose on his own. I think he's that good. I think you really have to beat Pat Mahomes. And I don't feel good. But I got to crunch out numbers before I get into Chiefs versus Eagles. I'm not going to say nothing today. You got to give me some time to look at these numbers, digest some stuff. Like tomorrow, we're going to really start getting into it. But right now, I'm not saying nothing about it because I know that Pat Mahomes ain't nothing to play with.
Yeah.
I'm still salty about that though, because if they had the Bengals had the chance to win that game, and that offensive line let them down terribly. And they still had a chance to go to overtime too. I mean, the kick return, the punt return was a long punt return. He kicked it deep too. But them dudes are just fast, bro. All them dudes on that team is fast. And not to mention, I'm gonna give Pat Mahomes credit because he had 3 of his receivers go down, and them boys still ball.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
But before we get into our closing thing, man, like that little melee at the end of the game.
I wanted to ask about that too. Yeah,
that was a whole mess. But that's what happens when a team is getting smashed. And that's the reason why when a team is getting smashed, you pull your starters out of the game because nothing good can happen from that. That's the only thing I think that we did that was poor coaching. Starters should have been out the game. Trent, he upset. He in his feelings because he been getting beat like a drum all day. He hot and he body slamming Eagles around there.
The state of Virginia thought that slam. I've seen that 42 from the 804 for the last 6 hours. Kayvon Wallace. 804 was ready to fight. Short pump was turned up whenever that slam. Trent did him like you trying to get your kids to lay down for a nap and you trying to
Trent different though, bro.
He tossed that boy, man.
That man 6'5", 320, bro.
You know it too.
Luckily, ain't no good.
And he run a 4.8.
Yeah, that's a big deal, bro.
Yeah, and luckily Kayvon ain't no good. If he gets suspended, oh well.
He's not suspended, bro. I don't think he gets suspended.
No. Yeah, but one thing to think about, to marinate on before we talk about it tomorrow, both quarterbacks get 2 weeks to heal up, and neither one of them were healthy. And that's going to make this a dynamic showdown. Hurts has been trying to prove that he's that guy, and he's going to have to show it against that guy. That's going to be exciting. All right, but in closing, man, hey, what you got, Jamie? You up first, man.
It's been a great week, man, of good football talk. I just hope the Super Bowl, it's going to be the Reed Bowl, the Kelce Bowl. I mean, the Kelce Bowl, whatever you want to call it. I think it's going to be a great dynamic game. Defense versus a quick offense. I mean, so we'll see what happens. We'll elaborate on this some more this week.
All right, what you got, Cora?
Yes. I definitely can't wait until tomorrow to dive into the Super Bowl. I think it's a great matchup. I mean, any one of these 4 teams, however you would have matched it up would have been a great Super Bowl. I thought these were the 4 top teams in the NFL, and I'm glad to see what I saw today in the Eagles. And and Chiefs are definitely both deserving of getting to this. And I hope a healthy game. I hope they all get healthy and play their best. And also, my boy LT, he had technical difficulties to everybody out there, so that's the reason why he wasn't on to make it. Another thing that food for thought. Hey man, when have you seen a first lady go to the game with another man? I'm just trying to say,
Hey,
Jill Madden up there with Roger Goodell. Hey
Just
Joe,
smiling too.
Joe.
Having a good old time, boy.
But you know she from Philly
Obama
though.
would never.
She
Joe-
from Pennsylvania
Joe-
though.
Thank
Joe
you,
was
Jamie.
saying. Yeah, Joe was saying.
She's from Pennsylvania though, man. She's from
Hey, so
Pennsylvania.
if Chicago were going, we would have saw what's the name up there with Michelle Obama up there with Roger Goodell.
Hey,
Check.
hey, look, man. This is the Man Podcast where we talk ball and not politics. Something what you got, man.
Hey man, listen. You know,
I might
I'll
change
just
the
say,
intro.
I think the two best teams are gonna show down in the Super Bowl. You know, one day, hopefully, I get to know what that feels like. You know, I don't. It's been rough. You know, keep the ridicule never stops. The group chat, the Facebook messages, the tags, the mentions. You know, but yeah, I'm looking forward to a heavyweight fight. Yo, I'm hoping that Hamp Super Bowl party, Jamie on the grill. You know what I mean? Food good. If Jamie promised to cook, I'll come home.
You definitely not coming home.
If you promise to cook, I'll come home.
we gonna get LT there to cook them Zubats.
No. Nope, won't be there.
Hey, look, but for real talk, Jamie, I actually told somebody that specific thing, man. I said, I'm going to talk to Jamie. I'm not doing a Super Bowl party unless Jamie on the grill. So, yeah. Hey, you on the spot, man. You got a few days to get back to me. Let me know if we're doing this. All right. The biggest thing, hey, could you put this up here, man? Can you put the one from Restream? I got to tell y'all, I am so happy and so thankful that y'all have been rocking with us. We just received the message. It says that we have received 100 messages today on Restream. Again, man, like I thank y'all for rocking with us. The show is growing. Man, we're starting to see people we don't even know watching it. That's awesome, man. Like, share. I mean, if you're not on the YouTube channel, come hit the YouTube channel. Come hit the subscribe button. We ain't asking for a lot. Just subscribe and share it with your friends. Cut the bell on so you know when we rocking. I love y'all. Again, I finish it with the same thing every day. Love yours because it's yours. Ain't nothing better than that. Love yours. We out.